Hello and good morning. October 14, Friday. Happy birthday to you, Libra 3. Still feeling really manic. So I've been dealing with that, going through mania all morning, and now I feel like I'm okay to where I can now do my thing. I'd like to call upon my ancestor team, my angel guides and spirit guides, to help me relay messages for the collective all, for the highest good of all. Thank you, and so it be. Let's see what messages you have for us today. The Hierophant, which is speaking about spirit. It's a spiritual teacher representing structure, tradition. As you can see, there's two individuals kneeling below this person, like students or pupil. This could also mean balance, duality with the pillars. This, could be talking about choices, creating balance. Mainly, there's something like as if, are you the guide? Are you the teacher? Or are you one of the pupils? Are you the student in this situation? The King of Pentacles, this is a court card speaking about somebody around you of high authority, maybe masculine energy that is guiding you, and with the pentacles represent like what you could manifest in the material world or your well-being. So there's somebody who is like a father figure, could be, or someone of high respect that is like influencing your well-being or material growth. This could also be speaking, you have the Hierophant and the King of Pentacles. So right here, I'm already feeling like this King of Pentacles is the person sitting here on this throne who is guiding you. I feel like they are guiding you on something. And then we have the Hermit card, which is like sometimes Spirit is asking you to go within. You have to isolate to grow personally. As you can see, you're standing on this mountaintop holding a lantern, looking down at all that you possess, looking down at everything in your world, but you're standing alone, and it's like there's, you're up by yourself. So this is like this is speaking about going within yourself, alone. And the Emperor right on the other side. So this could be speaking, this is Aries energy, along with that right here that's going on. So the Emperor rules with a dominant like powerful force, getting things done with an iron fist, or I'm sorry, not Aries, but this is Taurus. with the rams, or it could be Aries. But I feel like with the red, I feel like it's more Aries energy, because red is like more fire to me, and they're holding a wand in their hand. But they also have an apple in the other, so it could be earth or fire energy. This could be Aries or Taurus. But like, maybe they're saying, they're asking you, like, once you come out of this isolation, it's like you're coming into this kind of powerful energy, this powerful force, this masculine energy. Here are the Four of Pentacles. The one we're talking about, there's a lot of pentacle here. There's some possible earth energy here, and because that's what Pentacles represents, is your earth energy. The Four of Pentacles is the king, you sitting here isolating, like, or isolating, sorry, sitting here with your pentacles, guarding them, or the four, it could, four representing stability or even stagnation. Like, is this representing like you being very stable financially, or are you being very greedy and financially, materialistically? You know, that's what this card could be representing. A sense of comfort. You know, like, are you stagnating because you're comfortable? The Ten of Swords is a mental death. This is speaking about like something in your thought needs to go. It needs to change. Like, there's your own mental death. This is like mental anguish. But you see the sun is rising. So, like, where is the issue here? Where you have to look, it's something within your mentality that needs to change. And then we have the 10 of us. So there's a lot of endings here. 2 endings with the 10s. Then we have, but this is talking about forward movement, like forward action. This is like you need to take action in whatever passion. Maybe the passion that's keeping you stable here. I hope you enjoyed that reading. I'm going to disconnect. Thank you. That's the energy for the day in the tarot. We're going to move on to our October 14th birthday astrology reading. And this is the day of moderation. Moderation is a current theme in the lives of October 14 people. This is not to say that they are boring or even conservative people, but that navigating a path between the pitfalls of excessive behavior is indeed a great challenge. When those born on this day stray far from the straight and narrow, they most often court disaster. However, it is through such mistakes that they grow and learn to turn things into their advantage in the future. In a sense, October 14 people are in a bind. They are best suited for a moderate life, but in finely balanced and moderate in all things, can deprive themselves of not only failure and emotional lows, but also some of the ecstatic highs life has to offer. More highly evolved October 14 persons display a great deal of composure and reserve, taking time in everything they do extremely important to them, and thus hate to be rushed. Verbal facility is rarely their forte, so it may be through the use of visual images, the written word, music, or perhaps leadership and personal example that they express themselves. The communication of knowledge, critiquing of others' work, and commenting on life in general are important outlets for their highly developed mental side. Those born on this day are less often physically oriented, and their physical nature or talents may lie dormant or at least make little initial impression. Discovering an awkward sexuality, having children, suffering a serious accident or illness, or falling in love with a sport can bring these mental individuals down into their bodies in a kind of second incarnation. October 14 people tend to rule the roost, but rarely in an aggressive or overt way. More often working behind the scenes as the power behind the throne, they are not overly attached to physical objects and material concerns, but their home itself is very important to them, often doubling as a workplace. In their personal life, they can be quite content with a monogamous relationship, but must beware of the twin pitfalls of isolation and subservience to more dominant personality, particularly true of women. October 14 people are capable of lending great stability to the lives of their family, friends, colleagues, and social group. They enjoy being part of the show, the theater of life, but more often function as managers rather than stars. It is an interesting paradox that though, as mentioned above, October 14 people can be somewhat static personalities. The theme of travel so often figures prominently in their lives. Those born on this day very rarely spend their adult years where they grew up. For the more highly evolved of October 14 people, life's travels not only signify physical movement, but are symbolic of a freedom of spirit. Because of their stable and balanced traits, too many born on this day tend to be complacent and stagnant. I feel like I've already touched on things that we already went over just in the reading before. I feel like every time I do my reading, it is literally talking about what I'm about to read. Whomever these people are born on these days, this energy is definitely speaking to you because it's talking about there's bewaring of isolation. It's talking about stagnation. We've already talked about Hermit, the Four of Pentacles. Where did I leave off? Is an interesting paradox that, though, as mentioned above, October 14 people can be somewhat. Blah, blah, blah. I already did that. Those born on this day rarely spend their adult years where they grew up. For the more highly evolved of October 14 people, life's travels not only signify physical movement but are symbolic of a freedom of spirit. Because of their stable and balanced traits, too many born on this day tend to be complacent and stagnant. They must try to keep busy and set themselves high standards and monthly or yearly goals which must be met. What is it again? Okay. Those born on the 14th of the month are ruled by the number 5 and by the speedy planet Mercury. The influence of this planet underlies the strongly developed mental abilities of October 14 people mentioned above. The accompanying influence of Venus, ruler Libra, in combination with Mercury, grants strong aesthetic gifts as well as charm. For those born October 14 people who do stray off course, the number 5 indicates a resilient character which can recover quickly from the hard knocks of life. because in numerology, 5 typically means conflict. Yeah, like instability, conflict, loss, or opportunity for change. That's what 5 stands for. The 14th card in the major arcana is Temperance, which emphasizes the above discussed themes of balance and moderation. In the lives of those born on this day, the figure shown is the guardian angel who protects us and keeps us on an even keel. Such a figure can serve as a model for October 14 people. The card cautions against all forms of egotistical excess. Positively seen, temperance modifies passions in order to allow for new truths to be learned and incorporated into one's life. Because temperance may indicate negative qualities of passivity and ineffectiveness, October 14 people must resist trendiness and try to make their own way where style, technique, and systems of thought are concerned. Those born on October 14 must beware of all difficulties that can arise from the sedentary or overly static lifestyle. Problems with weight, depression due to repressed frustrations of a submerged or subservient personality, and or lack of physical exercise can lead to health difficulties. October 14 people can make excellent cooks and even use the kitchen as a perfect theater for expressing their creativity, as it is suited in the intimacy of their often reserved personality. They must be careful, however, to observe moderation and not go overboard on fattening, rich, and spicy foods. Daily walks are highly recommended. Advice: push yourself a bit to produce. Don't hide all the good stuff away for too long. Share with the world at large. Have fun surprising others. Dare to fail. Your meditation: after acknowledging the egg as the most perfectly packaged product, it is hard to imagine that God, the manufacturer, does not exist. I'll read that again. After acknowledging the egg as the most perfectly packaged product, it is hard to imagine that God, the manufacturer, does not exist. Strengths: measured, reasonable, composed. Weaknesses: overly cautious, inhibited, and stuck. I love you and I hope you have a good day. Happy birthday, October 14. It's Friday. We're going to be going into the weekend, so I hope everybody stays safe and has a good time. Love you. Bye.